Welcome to Smash Writing. You know who we are, we know who you might be. And he's missing the concept of the action board.
Always missing the point of what I have on the board.
Oh God, what are you writing on my action board? Follow the buzzards.
No swear. No swear.
No swear. Okay, we're gonna probably break that in the first couple of minutes. But welcome to Smash Writing. We are huge wrestling fans. We do a lot of wrestling topics throughout the year, and this is no different. As traditionally, our ideas in Januaries are always previews and what to expect and what we want to see. So wrestling's no other. We have a top 5 wrestlers that we want to watch in 2022, and see if they're going to do something with these characters or not. Poor Justin's number 5.
Well, before I get into my number 5, I tried to do the opposite of what this one did. Bigger names I tried to leave off the list. I tried to go, for the most part, smaller names. I almost went with the Wasteland War Party. I think they're incredible. I really want to see them go somewhere. Heidi Howitzer and Maxine Taylor are incredible. They look incredible. I just don't know enough about some of them because I don't watch as much indie wrestling as I would like to. But with that said, my number 5 is just depressing.
Poor guy.
It's Cesaro. They're not going to do anything with him, are they?
he just wants to cut to the chase. He's
cut to the disappointment right now.
If you watch, read, listen to us, because we're on all major platforms here. Justin loves this guy.
I've been putting him on my list now for 4 years.
And was it last year that had
I went real hard. Like every pay-per-view, it was like the Cesaro section, rocking the Cesaro.
And you had your moment for briefly.
Briefly, like for a moment, I thought I'd be happy, but no.
And then they took it away from you.
He's also the only WWE guy on my list because how the hell are you supposed to get by anyone in WWE? They're either hooked into the ground, like Cesaro, or they're cut. So I don't know. I don't know who to look forward to in that company.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. I want the big names because there's some big names that are coming back for rebound years. You want to see where they go. So it's reasons why they're on my list. But I'll start with number 5, Liv Morgan.
Yeah, if she isn't buried in the ground after her loss.
Yes.
This is gonna be a pivotal month. Because either she'll be able to float and maintain water, or they're going to bury her.
During this run with Becky Lynch, I love her attitude, her promo skills. What's that?
She has a good delivery, but the lines are still kind of, it's WWE.
She's getting her push where she can grow. You're seeing progress, and that's what I want to see in her, is progress. The day 1 match she had with Becky Lynch was a good match. But we know WWE a lot of times you're either released or buried.
Did I watch? I watched day 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know I did.
I did. I just don't.
Her and Becky did put on a great match. She carried her own with Becky. But I want to see what they do with her in 2022. No, I don't see her being released right now.
No.
Because...
Give it 3 weeks.
Yeah, give it 3 weeks. The next cut, she'll probably be gone. But right now, I want to see what happens to her in 2022. Definitely the way her 2021 year has ended on a high note. That good enough. Go with your number 4.
My number 4 is Athena, or formerly known as Ember Moon. She's going to be hot property coming up when her free agency's up, or her 90 days is up.
God, they release so many wrestlers, it's hard to believe that she's still in her 90-day cycle.
Yeah, I believe she's still, I think it's at the end of the month or something like that. But she's going to kill it wherever she goes. Impact will want her because they've got a hell of a stacked women's division. AEW's going to want her because they need some more star power in their women's division. And she can go in the ring with anyone. The Eclipse finisher is insanely incredible. And the fact she hits it with the accuracy that she does is amazing. She'll hit it out of the park wherever she goes.
Once again, it's going to be a miss on WWE.
I had 180 of them this year.
181,
Cesaro.
hey, at least he still has a job.
Yeah.
You gotta hope for the minimum in WWE. Speaking of big names that are cut, Bray Wyatt.
I'm looking forward to the horror movie he's making.
He's making a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Good, it's not.
It's going to be incredible. Whatever it is.
It's going to be incredible. Hopefully he makes... I would love to see him come back to wrestling at some point this year. And when he does come back, obviously, you know, WWE owns the name rights to Bray Wyatt, but he's smart enough.
I think he already started something like the Cult of Wyndham.
Yeah. So he's going to alter the character. He can't use the name, but he can alter the character.
I want to see him come back as the cult leader again.
Yeah. The Fiend was such a great character.
The thing with the Fiend is it was born out of necessity.
Yeah.
He needed to bring the Fiend to save himself. Because
but WWE had the hottest character. Twice in this guy, and they buried him. You know, and I know there's a dispute about the booking, but Bray had probably a good point. This character was their best character in recent years.
He sold championship belts at $7,000 that looked like ass.
No swearing.
No swearing. I already.
6 minutes in, I knew it.
No swearing.
We don't have rules on this.
We really should. We want to be bigger.
Yeah.
But he was your lead merchandise mover. And he's telling you, like, oh, maybe don't bury my characters, please. I'm doing business.
Yeah, and if you got in an argument with him because of that, understand that you guys spent time building this character up as an unstoppable monster. People loved it. The theme music, the mask.
So what I would really like to do is like look at themselves in the mirror and go, our wrestler is arguing creative with us. Is he wrong, or the company that wanted to call Stone Cold Chili McFucking Freeze wrong? Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we should listen to our talent a little bit more.
But that's my number 4. Your number 3.
My number 3 is Hook. Good Lord, is this kid over? Like Rover. Good Lord. You know over like Rover?
Yeah.
But the crowd is so much behind this kid.
Now, have they acknowledged that he is Taz's
Yes.
son? Okay. I wasn't sure.
He's so smooth in the ring. It's scary. Just the suplex. And I love those hook punches he does leading up to the Red Rum Taz mission. No, it's just, this year's going to be incredible for him.
He's young. He's like, what, 2021?
Yeah, probably.
So he might be AEW's franchise type.
Yeah, him and Darius Martin, Dante Martin and Darius, Daniel Garcia. These kids are the third future kind of deal.
They have a laying down. They have a good foundation.
Yeah.
And because you still have Orange Cassidy, you still have Darby Allin.
MJF's like 24, I think 25.
And if he's like, how old is Darby Allin? Because it wasn't.
I don't know Darby's age. I don't know.
But let's say they're all in that 20 to 25 year range, and they're already this hyped up.
Yeah.
What's 35 going? What they could go into their 40s if everything plays out. And AEW, I know they got the money to stay going, but you also need that recognition too.
Hook outpaced CM Punk in December on the Pro Wrestling Tees and AEW shop. Hook is outselling CM Punk in merchandise.
Let that sink in. My number 3, sticking with the big names, is Becky Lynch. I don't like the big time Bex character right now. I'm not feeling it. So it's
because they're trying to push her as a heel character. She's still being cheered over everyone else.
Because people know what she's fully capable of. She doesn't need these tactics that she's pulling off.
It's character evolution, right? She couldn't keep being the man. She can.
Oh no, I totally accept that, but I'm not feeling the big time Bex. But I do want to see what they do with her in 2022, considering that the women's roster is non-existent. The fact that they acknowledged Mickie James
Yeah, the Impact, the Knockouts Women's Champion.
Yeah, so that, times are getting rough in the women's division. That was once.
Well, that's because they didn't have enough. There's not enough women on their roster to fill the Rumble, so they had to reach outward.
And the sad part is they had that talent.
Yeah, they did.
They had a lot of great talent, and they could afford it to keep
We could ride right into my number 2 off of that.
Yeah, let's go. Because, was Becky Lynch's contract part of the reason why?
No.
Yeah, I know, but that was...
The fact that they put that in storyline is dumb.
But go with your number 2.
My number 2 is Ruby Soho. She has incredible, from August, her debut at the Battle Royal, the Casino Battle Royal was so much fun. The crowd popped so hard for her every time. It's so glad to see Ruby finally get her roses, because they didn't do dick with her in the Riot Squad, and they could have.
That was a very good group in WWE, and they just kind of shattered it.
Yeah. And we're seeing her now, she wrestles this crazy, unhinged style where she's just throwing herself at everyone. And it's a lot of fun, and it's please don't die.
Yeah.
She's so close to winning a title, and 2022 is her year. Call it. 2022 is her year.
And there's 2 women's titles in AEW,
yeah.
So...
Well, that's the best thing, is she came within whispers of winning both titles, the women's title and the TBS title. And you're gutted, and it's oh, I wanted you to win. And it's not like you don't like the other ones, because Britt and Jade are really good too. And you still have hope, because this company treats their people so well, and Ruby's going to be back.
Right.
Unlike Ruby Riott when she had her title match against Ronda, and it's well, I wonder how this will go.
And you already know
and
how
she
it goes.
never came close to the titles again.
My number 2 is no other than CM Punk. When CM Punk came back, it was a big deal, and I'm almost glad I was with AEW.
Yeah, WWE wouldn't have been able to handle it.
No, they would have botched it at some point.
He would have been better off going to Impact over WWE.
Yeah. I don't think he was ever serious about getting back in the ring with WWE, considering how bad that relationship was. I know he had the clips on the Fox. But that was short-lived too. But now the hype has.
I didn't get that.
The hype is now done.
What's wrong with you?
What are they going to now? Right now he had matches with Darby Allin. If they're going to have him wrestle their young talent, they can put on 5-star matches. His feud with MGF is incredible. I love the promos.
Yeah.
The shots.
His match with Eddie Kingston that's the definition of a blood feud. Just 2 guys who didn't like each other. There was no prancing around. They just started beating each other.
Now, but I want to see what a full year brings to the life of AEW and CM Punk. Where is he going to go after this feud? What's a full year of CM Punk?
Does he get the title?
Yeah, because we're going to talk about my number 1 in a couple of minutes, and what's going to happen with him. These 2 are on the same track basically. So. CM Punk, I want to see what happens to him in 2022 in AEW. I believe he signed, a 3-year contract with them?
3 or 4, I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay. That's my number 2.
My number 1 could only be 1. It's Danhausen. This is a Ring of Honor guy. I don't know much about him, haven't seen much of his wrestling. But you know what? He's not even a part of a major... He's Ring of Honor, of course, but... he got an ass boys chant over in AEW, a company he's not involved in. He is so wildly popular with the wrestling fans. You see his signs in the AEW crowds. He's everywhere on Twitter and interviews. Imagine what this guy will do when you put him on a national television. It's going to be insane.
He may not even need national television.
Yeah, because he doesn't even need it now. What's going to happen when he gets to an AEW? Or when he gets to AEW? don't put him in WWE. They won't know how to handle Danhausen.
No. I think this way, if anybody comes out of WWE, it's going to be self-made wrestlers. If you have you would have to be like the likes of AJ Styles to hold your own, where your name is your brand. WWE can't do that.
Yeah, but Danhausen is just so wildly popular right now, and it's just going to get bigger.
My number one wrestler that I'm looking for.
No swear.
What?
No swear.
What?
No swear.
I didn't swear.
No swearing.
You broke that rule like 4 times in 15 minutes. My number one wrestler is Bryan Danielson, a.k.a.
You want to know what Bryan's future is? Bryan's future for this year is he will just be a top 10 matches by himself. Because he was almost that last year, and he took 4 months off.
Right. Bryan's much like CM Punk. He's going to be with AEW for a couple of years. I don't think Bryan's going to be around for as long as Punk will be. This might be like his final long year. Or maybe like his final contract.
No, well, you did say this will probably be his final full-term contract.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because of the matches he's having, he's just killing himself.
It seems like right now he's going all in. And which,
fantastic for us.
Fantastic for us, but for his career. But then again, Bryan is also wrestling smart. There's so many jobs that he can do behind the camera. So there's nothing wrong with his financial go. So if he wants to go all in to dedicate as many matches he has left in the tank, good. But I do want to see what a full year
Bryan Danielson looks like.
Yeah, not Daniel Bryan, but Bryan Danielson.
The full year, like I said, a full year for Bryan Danielson is he's going to take over the top 10 best matches of the year list. Just 10 through 1 will be Bryan Danielson somehow.
And he doesn't have to win them.
No, he doesn't. He's already had a match of the year contender, and we're recording this on the 8th. He's already got one.
So, he's in great shape, but I do want to see what they give him.
He's in scary shape. When he's doing like the walk the cat thing, where he's catching himself on the top rope and pulling himself up at like the 58-minute marker of a match.
He's doing
and
that.
Just not sweating, just jumping jacks in the corner. Like,
he's in the best shape of his career.
You robot.
And both him and CM Punk had storied careers. As wrestling fans, we look at them as a whole, just not what they did in WWE. They've had...
going all the way back to Ring of Honor together.
Yeah, so these two veterans can go in different directions. I just want to see what AEW has in store with them for a year's time. And yeah, they're bigger names, but these are rebounding year. 2022 is a rebound year for like 4 of my 5 my wrestlers. So I'm looking forward to watching them. I'm looking forward to seeing what is in store for 2022 for these wrestlers.
No, that's our list.
Until next time.
No swear.
Bye-bye.
Bye.